There's a new power pack solar generator out from EcoFlow, the EcoFlow DELTA2 Max, and here it is. The good thing about this as well, and we see it in quite a few other products of this size, although this is a big unit and has lots of power in it, you might eventually want to expand it. And there's the opportunity on here, using the Eco Special leads, that you can buy additional backup batteries and add 2 more batteries to it. So if budgets are tight, or you think you just need this power and it'll do you, you could buy this unit to start with. It will power all these things and just about anything you want, really. And if you can power that, everything with that unit, and then later on you might decide you want to expand it, this is expandable. You're not selling this unit and getting another unit. Comes with a great EcoFlow guarantee, 5-year guarantee. As you would expect with EcoFlow, this is a phosphate battery, so it has that massive capacity to be discharged and fully charged from almost 0 to 100% about 3,000 times. So there's an expectation this will last a minimum of 10 years in its battery capacity. And there's a lot more information about the batteries and what to buy and what to look for in this video up here, so check that out. But this is the latest battery type, the EcoFlow type battery, and it's the phosphate one. So although it comes with a 5-year guarantee, you would expect this to last for at least 10 years. And of course, when it moves down to 80%, it's not a problem. It'll easily power all these items on here. Air fryers, kettles, toasters, induction hob, pizza oven, full oven with electric rings on the top and a grill. That 400 watt folding solar panel sits great up on the awning up there and gives a good angle towards the sun. Still quite a few clouds around today. We're up on top of them all. But even so, that 400 watt solar panel is pumping out 392 watts, which is incredible for a 400 watt solar panel. There you go, it's at 400 watts input. So this unit is quite capable of plug and play into a camper van, a motorhome, a tent, an off-grid cabin, bell tent, boffy, whatever you want. There's enough power in this, and if you've got the sunlight and you've got a 400 watt solar panel, there's enough power in this to run just about everything you need. If we try to plug everything in here at the same time, it'll struggle. First of all, it's only got 4 sockets, but it will run most of these. It's got a device inside that allows it to take over the standard power supply that's in this. So this has got 2,000 watts, but the unit inside allows it to go up to 3,000 watts. And there's a bit of jiggery pokery inside in the electronics which drops the voltage and ups the amps to enable that to happen. It can affect some devices, may take a little bit longer, but you'll still be able to run them. So with this, you can run the pizza oven, you can have some chips on the go, and you can put your kettle on. The other thing people ask me when I say it's a plug and play device, to say, how do you charge it in your camper van? Well, you can obviously charge it with that solar panel up there, but I have one of these fitted in my camper van, and I've had this fitted in my camper van for some time, and it's basically a fused unit for 240 volts. So in there's some trip switches which are fused, and on the end of it, it's a sealed unit, and on the end of it there's a long cable, like the standard cable you get on the side of a camper van to plug into shore-based power when you're on a campsite. But this is basically designed for a tent, so use it on a campsite with a tent. You can put this inside. You've got 3 main sockets on there, 3-pin main sockets on there, and you can plug your devices in. So if you're on a campsite or you're somewhere and you want to use mains power, you can plug this unit into this, or anything else you want, and plug this into the shore power at the campsite or wherever you are. And these plugs are adaptable, so this is an adapter for it, which turns it to a 3-pin plug. So if I want to fasten this to the wheel arch of my camper van and leave it in there, run everything off it from the app, which is quite easily possible, and I want to charge it while it's in there, you'd plug the power from this, the mains power lead from this, into this unit. You'd run this cable outside, plug it into your campsite power, or plug it into a 3-pin socket in your house. So everything is versatile with this type of approach, and it's easy to set up. You don't enter the process of trying to wire everything up. So if you have a day van, and that day van you want to use for work or various other bits and pieces, but every so often you want a power supply in it, this again fits in really well. So for the marine industry, for boats and yachts, perfect additional system. And having a waterproof panel, can't go on too much about waterproof solar panels. If we have more of these, we sell more in the UK because you can leave them out. And on the awning like this out the way, you can fasten it down, you can tie it down or clip it down so it doesn't blow off. But if I go for a walk with the day with the dogs or out on my mountain bike and it starts to rain, I don't have to dash back to put this away because it'll destroy it. It's completely waterproof. So having that type of panel and this type of unit is so versatile to use in many operations. And of course, if it'll work all this outside, it will work it in a house or in a cottage because it's the same principle. And EcoFlow do this device. I'll put a slide in now. And this device allows you to plug solar in, mains in, and take your power supply from a unit like this. And if the solar drops off and your power system starts to draw low, it'll draw power from the mains to charge it. If it's getting power from solar, it understands that, it'll switch the mains power off and take the power from outside, and it'll control that through the actual unit. And that has a switchover unit as well for through power. So if you're plugging something into this that's critical, maybe a piece of medical device, and the power goes off on the mains may switch off, but this will automatically switch over to power that unit. That pizza oven is now running. The power light is on there and it's on full power. It's starting to get warm inside. And the air fryer is now running and that's also on full power as well. So to create pizza and chips, and if you look at the sensor up the screen on here, hopefully you can see this, it's currently pulling 2025 watts, but we still have 380 odd watts going in, and it'll last for 45 minutes. And that's only 70% charged of the unit because I haven't fully charged the unit yet. So there's perfectly enough power in that to make pizza and chips. How good is that? The format of this, in relation to its physical shape and size, it's not the format I normally like for a small power pack, but for a power pack of this size, I'm quite happy with this configuration because this size fits perfectly on a wheel arch. And you can strap it down with these handles or over the top onto a wheel arch and make it very secure. And because it's operated mainly by an app, all the functions are on there manually, but you can operate it from an app as well, either through Bluetooth or through the internet. You can operate everything you need to do by having this remotely out the way in your garage. There's that fused mains cable unit, securely tied together underneath my wellies. And I have a Whippet system in back of this, which is a modular system, which is the AC200 Max. That's the main unit, 2000 watts in that, and just over 2000 watts in the two backup batteries, but it's the same principle. This used to be the best on the market, but the new EcoFlow DELTA2 Max is better than this one, as it's improved on its capacity, what it can give out, how fast it can charge, and its size. But if you could see there, we could stick that EcoFlow DELTA2 Max on that wheel arch and plumb it in the same way it is with these, and you could have the modular batteries over the other side. Those modular batteries and this are a bit big to fit on the wheel arch, but that unit, the EcoFlow one, was set nicely on there. This just shows the evolution and the fast change in power systems. So I have a EcoTree lithium battery in there, which in that box, which is incredible. The Victron system and 350 watts of solar on the roof. Then I have this in the back as well, which is more power than I ever will need. And you can do the same with the EcoFlow one. And the EcoFlow one tips this one in its capacity, size and functionality, particularly if you get the two backup batteries. Back and front configuration is quite good as well, because if this is on a wheel arch, your switches and your information's at the front, and then your sockets are at the back to lead into the van. And you've got your 12 volt sockets there and your main sockets there. And this is the charging points for it. So that's solar and that's the main charging point in there as well. It's also got a reset button on the back as well. What else can this thing do? Well, I have a hybrid car and this is the charging unit. It's currently taking just over 2000 watts and there's got 200, nearly 300 watts of going in from the solar. This is plugged into the back of the unit. Power's on here, runs down, and it's charging my electric car. Now, obviously, this is only a 2000 watt battery, so the capacity of that will be used quite quick. It's not going to be used totally within the set period of time just of the capacity of the battery, because we've got the through charge of the solar panel working. But if we had the two backup batteries that plug into the side using these connectors, this would make this 6 kilowatts, and that would be enough to put some power in to enable me to use my car. So this, with solar, is putting free power into my car. Now this is a hybrid car. We live in the middle of nowhere and there's no charging stations anywhere around. In fact, it's a 20-mile round trip to the nearest petrol station. But having a solar power unit like this, and particularly if I had its two backup batteries linked to a solar panel, or more than one solar panel, we can actually put power into the car as well. So I'm hoping I'm showing you how versatile a unit of this size is. Where else could you charge an electric car? So quite a cloudy day, but still getting quite a bit of solar. And of course this is the UK, and we particularly live in North Yorkshire, and about 10 miles that way is the North Sea. So we always get some fog as we live literally on top of a hill. So solar is great in the summer, and if you've got south-facing solar panels, or you can have a portable solar panel like this that you can move around, you can get quite a bit of solar. But in winter we could really do with a wind generator. A quality wind generator, a portable one, would be ideal. And then it makes it more feasible to run everything off solar or natural power, because solar in the summer and wind power, or the two together backing each other up, would be fantastic. We're back in our cottage. There's the Whippets. They've been out for a mad run this morning. And if you've seen any of our videos before, we have a configuration in our house. It's not like the device I've shown you from EcoFlow that you could use in your house. This is just a manual switchover one. And we test all our power systems that we get, if they're big enough, on this switchover, which is a real good test of the inverter. And this has obviously got a great quality inverter. But this switch here goes over from generator to switch it off to the mains power. And it runs up and goes into the standard fuse box. So everything running through that in the cottage is run through this at the moment. We haven't got much on at the moment. It's just drawing 122 watts. But having this configuration, or the device that EcoFlow supply, you can charge this up, and this is super fast charging. It charges to 80% in 45 minutes. And it's the fastest charging unit of this size from solar. And if the sun's available, it's super fast charging. But the advantage is all your lights and everything in the cottage runs off this power unit. We have low energy bulbs. There you go, it's just gone up to 135 watts. I'll switch the kitchen lights on. 150 watts. Efficiency as well, we have an Aga, but we have an electric Aga. So I'll just switch that on and see how that works. There you go, look. With this having 2,400 watts of power as standard, and having the boost opportunity where it can take it to 3,100 watts. It's building there 2,350, but still coping with it. I mean, we'd never use this with the Aga because it's just inefficient. We use that portable oven you saw earlier on in the video in the cottage in the summer, so it just gets too hot. Notice with this as well, the fans are super quiet. They're not running at the moment, but when it gets warm, they're definitely quieter than they used to be on the old version of this. And of course, there's an app that you can run this from. You can run it from Bluetooth, or you can actually run it through the internet. So you link this to the internet and you can be anywhere and switch it on and off and see what it's doing. For this unit, if we have up to 1,000 watts of solar outside and the sun's available, we can plumb that into this unit, and that would run the cottage, power those things. You'd have to be careful not to have everything on at the same time, but if you planned it, it'd work fine. And of course, if you have the two backup batteries to give it over that extra power, that would last a damn sight longer. In the box, it comes with a cigarette lighter charger, so you can charge this as you drive along, put some power in. It comes with the solar cables. nice and easy to use, and that plugs into the same socket as the charger for the cigarette lighter. And you don't have a charging brick with this, you have what we do as a kettle lead, and it comes with this. And these all come with the instructions in the box, so you get everything you really need to actually use it. Thanks as always for watching, and do check us out on our Instagram. I keep forgetting to tell people about that. There's lots of Whippet stuff on there. We put some on there nearly every day about these two, and that's Whippet One Man and His on Instagram. It's in the description below. There's a lot more information about EcoFlow products, and the links will be in the description, and there'll be links to all their products on their website, which will also be in there as well. So thanks for watching, lots more videos to come, and we'll see you on the next one. Do you want to go out? Do you want to go out? Do you want to go out? Hey, come on then, let's go.